Alright, y'all, our TST's going off again.
TPMS.
Yeah. Just gonna pull straight and then I can back you up when we leave, I guess.
Yeah.
Try to get over to the side as much as possible. The front left, is that the last bad tire?
That's the front, that's the back. So the front left, yeah, that's what it is.
The front left, so that's on your side.
Yeah, that's on my side. Darn it.
Alright, y'all, there is the highway, and we were able to pull into this storage lot. So we have a nice safe place to change the tire. Oh, you can just hear it. I just hate that sound. You're not going to be able to patch it. It's right here. See?
Oh, wow. What happened with that?
I don't know.
Holy moly. Yeah, that ain't patchable.
And we're going to a place that has no discount tires, so we're probably going to have to drive to go get this tire. Oh, this is a pain. Alright, y'all, here's our handy dandy spare. Hope it lasts until Wendover. Yay, he did it, everybody. 2 thumbs up.
Next, I'm going to hit it with the torque wrench just to be sure, and then check the air pressure after I switch the TPMS, and then we'll be done.
I think we're getting used to this tire pressure monitoring system keeps going off. This is the 3rd time this year in 2024. We're just now hit October, not at the end of the year yet, and I'm just frustrated with it all, but it's just things you have to deal with when you're on the road. Tires and maintenance, and you got to make sure that everything is in working order.
We just started our trip, and this is a long trip today. So if we get another blowout or something, another flat, and it's not in a place in the tire where we can patch it, which this one is in the corner, we can't patch it, then we're kind of screwed.
Alright, y'all, here's our Viair. Handy dandy Viair to air up our tires. And we got them hooked into our batteries. Alright, he decided to put our bad tire, instead of putting it in our kitchen, he's gonna raise it up.
So as frustrating as this is, God blessed us with a beautiful place in order to change a tire. We're not on the side of the road like we've been before. We have good friends who actually pulled over to make sure that they're going to be behind us for a ways at least, to make sure that the tire doesn't fall off or something. So we've been taken care of, so praise God for that.
There are our friends, Chris and Courtney, and we're gonna do our walk around. Alright, y'all, so we're back in the truck. Speed limit drops to 35. That's what that was.
Every little beep makes you nervous now.
I'm like a little bundle of nerves right now, so.
But I am looking at the TPMS. I can see it out of my peripheral vision as I'm driving, which is perfectly safe, and it's the way they designed it. And long story short, they are gaining pressure, not losing pressure, so that's good. As you drive, they should slightly go up.
And like Matthew said with the spare, maybe it was always like that, because we've only used it twice. This will be the 3rd time now, so.
Yeah, even though it's our 4th tire to be replaced, or that will eventually be replaced, we've only had a flat 3 times.
And we feel a little better because our friends Chris and Courtney, they hadn't left the boondocking yet, so they were able to catch up with us, and they said we'll just stay behind y'all, so because we don't have another spare. We do have a patch kit now though, so if we wind up getting a flat or something, but if it's the valve stem, you can't patch that. So they said, you know, they have a Jeep, they said we can unhook it, go into town and get another tire for y'all. So that makes us feel better. Thanks y'all for
Yes.
stopping.
It makes you feel good to have good friends, especially when you're in a precarious situation.
But that tire needed to be replaced. We just get our use out of all of our tires. So
Yes, we do.
none of our tires were replaced unless we were forced to replace them, right?
Yes.
Hopefully the next time you hear from us will be hopefully at our KOA. We're staying there for one night, and then we're going to our boondocking spot with the rest of our friends.
Welcome to Nevada.
Yay!
Google likes Nevada. Nevada?
Nevada.
Nevada. What do y'all say, Nevada or Nevada? And as soon as we cross the line, the road's like,
Yep, as soon as we cross the border, Nevada says, we ain't paying for this road.
Is that how like bad roads sound? We're 65 miles from our destination. The tires are still doing good. The spare tires still doing good. So we be praying all the way.
And I'm hungry, so somebody bring me pizza.
Are you ready to go?
I like this KOA, but I'm ready to get to one of our favorite boondocking spots in this area, so let's get it.
And our friend's already there.
Welcome to Utah.
Yay! Thank you.
Thanks, Google.
And Utah actually has a beautiful sign.
Yeah, you're not properly welcomed until Google welcomes you into the state.
So if Google doesn't welcome you into the state, are you actually in the state?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, y'all, we got to stay our third time at the Wendover KOA.
Technically West Wendover.
Yes, we actually got to meet the owners this time. Tina and Rob, they were, especially Tina, she was a hoot.
They were fantastic to talk to. They were just so down to earth and just opened up like we were long lost friends, and we really enjoyed their time.
Yeah, we got to speak with her yesterday and today, and it's a very nice KOA, very friendly. Even the staff is friendly every time we've been there, and we've been at some KOAs where that's not the case, so this is definitely a great KOA. To see the wizard.
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming.
No.
I just knew it. I don't know how.
Y'all, have we been together so long that, you know, you are in each other's brains, or what is it, brain wavelength?
Yeah, we're partially psychic.
We're off to see the tire wizard because apparently we're in the middle of nowhere, and to get to the closest name brand tire places, you have to go to Salt Lake City, which I think is an hour and a half to 2 hours, something like that.
Oh yeah.
So we got a tip from the KOA that we stayed at that told us about this place that can do tires and other type of maintenance and repairs and stuff like that. The only downside is we run Goodyear Endurance on our RV travel. Our tires are Goodyear Endurance on the fifth wheel, and even these places that we called, there were two in this area, they can't get Goodyear Endurance from their distributor. So now we're gonna have to go, because we need another tire. We can't just run on the spare, because if we have a flat, we're screwed.
Yeah, that's not being very responsible. We do have to get it replaced.
We do have a tire repair kit, or for a flat or whatever, but this one was on the sidewall. So what if that happened again? And another thing, y'all, when we had our first tire flat or blowout or whatever, a lot of y'all said y'all carry a second spare. I'm curious, where do you keep the second spare? Because we have our spare under the fifth wheel, and then our truck has a spare, but the bed of our truck, when the fifth wheel's hooked up, I mean,
it's not long enough.
Yeah, so where do you keep your second spare? Do you just keep it in the bed of your truck? But we have a sliding hitch, and it's so big, and so I'm just curious, because I know a lot of y'all are like, well, a lot of y'all do carry 2 spares. Alright, we are at Carrillo Brothers in, are we in Wendover or West Wendover? One of those.
I think we're in Wendover still.
Utah. And our tire is back here. And we're just deciding, we're probably going to have to go with the 12 ply because they don't have the 10 ply. Yeah, they're like inside a gas station here. People still pulling in on a Saturday. That's where they go to have lunch. That's kind of neat.
It used to be a gas station.
Well, I mean, the pumps still look like they're functional, right? Have a bunch of cars in here. It's Carrillo Brothers. I don't know if they're working on all these cars or if they sell some of these cars. Alright, y'all, we got our tire and we had to punt. Why?
So, what happened is this. When I called, they said, yeah, here's the price for the 10 ply. But they don't actually have the 10 ply in stock. And just for reference, our tires, our Goodyear Endurance tires, are 10 ply. So 12 ply is better, 14 is better. If they had a 20 ply, it'd probably be just solid rubber, but that'd be better. You get the point. The more plies, the heavier duty. So we got the 12 ply. My only thing was I wanted to make sure with the TPMS, by the way, 12 ply can handle more weight than 10 ply tires can, and it's just more durable, supposedly. So, but my thing is, I don't want to look at our TPMS. I don't have it right now because we're not hooked up. I don't want to look at it and go, okay, 80 PSI, 80 PSI, 80 PSI, 100 PSI. I don't want to keep that in my head when I'm going on the interstates, you know, around Chicago or something. Just glancing at it right quick, I don't want to do that math. I want to look at it and have them all the same. So he assured me that you can, and forgive me for being so naive, I don't know any better, but it made sense. He said you can do whatever pressure, cold pressure you want. 80 PSI is fine. He said that's very common, even though it's 100 PSI rating. What I'm talking about is when it's cold, you wake up in the morning, you haven't left yet, you pump up your tires, it has a rating. Normally it's 80 for us. This new tire is 100. But he said, you just do it at 80 and it's going to perform just fine. So that way I can look at the TPMS and not be confused. She can look at the TPMS and not be confused. So I think all is good. And what's our plan going forward?
I told you that we went to see the tire wizard, and unfortunately, you're at the mercy of whatever the tire place is at the time, because we need another tire, and we're still an hour and a half to 2 hours from the main a main city that's got all kinds of tire places. So it's like you don't go into this lifestyle, I mean, because we weren't campers before we became full-time, so you don't go into this lifestyle knowing everything, but you learn as you go. We were just going by what the tires were on the RV, and we're like, no, we have to have that exact tire. So like I said, we punted. So now going forward, every time we replace a tire, we're gonna get 12 ply. Maybe eventually it might be 14 ply. I don't know, because the more durable the tire is, hopefully the more it can take on these roads, because y'all been on these roads.
Oh, they're horrible.
They're not great roads. So.
No. The Carrillo brothers. I'm not sure if they're in Wendover or West Wendover, but that's like a block's difference. I mean,
Right.
honestly, folks, it's the same town. So Wendover, West Wendover, who cares? In that area, I would go there. Now, when you go there, you're going to say, this place looks like a junkyard. It doesn't have the aesthetic of a brand new
Discount tire.
discount tire. However, they don't just do tires, they do everything.
Yes.
And these guys are honest, and they play fair, and their prices are good. And they gave me the option whether I wanted a new valve stem or not, and explained the difference. They didn't just say, okay, here, we're going to charge you a bunch of money and you just go outside and wait till we're done. No, we could either watch or not watch. They explained everything. Even though it's just a stupid tire, they explained it all to us. They're very nice. They're very good. I would highly recommend it because they were recommended highly to us. And so I'm going to repeat the service. Carrillo Brothers. They might say Carrillo Brothers Wrecker, something like that. It's just a Carrillo Brothers. It's right across from the Copper Kettle Mexican restaurant.
And like Matthew said, we got the referral from a local. So if you're in a town, you're like, oh no, my tire went out, or just ask a local, and because they have to get stuff done, right? And we looked and we verified on Google, they get great reviews. So yeah, that, because at first we're like, there is no way we're gonna find a tire place in Wendover. We're gonna have to just drive to Salt Lake. But then we asked the locals, they're like, oh yeah, just go here. So
yep. And my other tip is, if you don't have like an appointment or something, get there when they open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get there when they open. It's better for you.
There's bedding in there.
No way.
Really?
Yeah, like animal bedding.
Oh, okay.
From this stuff.
I was gonna say a mattress.
Not human bedding.
All right, we have a friend attempting to walk in the mouth of the Skeletor rock.
Never to be seen again.
You can't go all the way through it.
Oh, you can't?
Something big put this grass.
Oh, it sure did. A whole bunch of it. Wow. Well, if I were an animal, that's where I'm gonna live.
Yeah, that would be safe for a little while until something else wants it.
I don't think there's bears here, but I wonder if there's coyotes.
Oh, probably. Yeah. I would guess.
And I would love to see that up there.
Don't fall through there.
That's
It's not like that.
That's a good idea.
Like, what if they have some dummy floor or something?
What if they have what?
A dummy floor like you see on the movies. You step on it and then like a trap door.
That becomes a real adventure.
Like the Goonies.
Yeah. All right, y'all, we just on a whim decided to explore, and we're taking this road around, what is it, the Silverback?
Yeah.
No, Silver something loop. Anyways, whatever it's called, we're doing it.
With a hostage.
And a hostage, our friend Chris from
Here he
FBT
is.
Adventure. He's happy.
Save me, help.
Anyways, you can't help him, sorry. We're here at the Hastings Cutoff. So
Yeah.
apparently people have been here before.
Mm-hmm.
And what they have been reading to me is basically the Donner Reed party. You know, the ones who had supper and it wasn't beef. This isn't where that happened. But they did cut through here because this was supposed to be a quick way. You know, everybody who says, oh, take the shortcut, why don't you? This was the shortcut, why don't you? And it's, what do they say? It's one of the largest expanses of desert where there's no water in this part, in this region at least. So when Sean shows you around, you can see the kind of, I imagine the conditions are exactly minus the road like it is today. I mean, it's beautiful, but can you imagine in a horse-drawn carriage with mules and everybody's unhappy, beasts are unhappy, nobody gets any water? How horrible.
Miles.
90 miles.
All right, so we just discovered that the playa of the desert is James Reed, and his wife found out, and I guess the Donner family ate them.
So if you want the accurate history, I haven't read this yet, but I don't think that's what it was.
That's what I'm going with. You know, like in the rap world, isn't it like the playa?
What if
He was a playa.
Rap didn't, no. These people lived the expression, don't trust the shortcut. because basically all of their animals, you can tell by this thing, died. And they didn't have any water. See? All dead. They didn't have any water. They thought they'd taken a shortcut. They went away from anything that resembled civilization. And these fine folks, well, these two may have made it through. Many of them did. Some of them didn't. All right, y'all. So we've read about it, and there are wagons out there. Well, there were wagon remains out there. Who knows if they're still out there? But this is, if you want to see a little picture of the area, but they said it was a 300-mile shortcut given to them by a guy who failed to mention the 90-mile expanse of no water. And you're looking in the direction that I'm assuming they came from. They came from this direction, right?
It looks, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
They should have.
They came from that direction. Spin you around slowly so nobody gets hurt. And they went, not over this peak necessarily, but they went somewhere in this direction. This is history. And eventually they ended up in California where, as I said, beef is not what they had for supper. So this is part of history. And it's beautiful in and of itself. But as our friend Chris has said, it's much better to do it bouncing up and down in F-350 than in wagons. Don't do this in wagons.
So this floating island, is that on the Bonneville Salt Flats?
Probably. I mean, I don't know why they call it an island. Oh, maybe that is it.
So apparently this is the floating island, but if they knew that it was 90 miles of no water.
I don't think they knew.
Well, then
I think that's the thing. They got the information from a guy named Hastings, who failed to give them all of the information. Said, it's a shortcut. Take my shortcut.
I digress. Why is it a floating island? It has no water. So who called it a floating island? It has no water.
I don't know. Whoever made the map made the name.
Or does it rain out here, and when it rains, it turns into a temporary floating island?
We have seen evidence of water. That's all the ruts in the road, which, by the way, don't take them fast.
I also have heard that the archaeologists excavated all of the wagons and the leftovers and stuff.
Leftover people?
Well, bones and stuff.
Whatever
like
they couldn't eat.
There is a museum called the Donner Reed Museum in Grantsville, Utah. So I would like to see that. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
If any of y'all have been to that museum, let us know if it's something neat to go see. And have y'all seen the Donner Lake in California?
We double checked everything with our torque wrench. This is important. If you touch your lug nuts for any reason, you should check it. Make sure it's at the proper torque. So we got all this done and we noticed something about our setup. It's still under here, but the jack, the bottle jack, I've always said, get something bigger than you need. We do have one bigger than we need, 12 tons. We don't need a 12-ton jack for this, but that's what we have and that's what I recommend you get, something that's bigger than what you need. However, ours keeps creeping down. As soon as you jack it up, bump, 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 it starts sliding back down again. So we notice that too. So we're gonna have to replace that. Does it work? Yeah, it still works, but honestly, you should be able to jack it up and it should stay there. Ours doesn't stay there, so it's a bit of a nuisance. So we're good with this tire. The air pressure is exactly the same pretty much as it is with the pre-existing tire. So far we're happy. I've checked the torque twice. All we got to do is put this stupid thing back where it goes, which is one of the hardest parts.
Our handy dandy spare is going back to the other side. We can't put it on this side, which is too bad because this slide we can let in. The other slide we can't let in. And why can't we let the other slide in, Matthew?
I don't know.
Honestly, I'm going to show y'all. I can't believe he doesn't know.
Oh, yeah.
Do y'all see something sitting on that slide? Yeah. Our Starlink's up there. We've got a checklist. That slide does not come in until Starlink is off.
The last time you saw this, the slide was in. Now the slide is out. So obviously I have to be right here. And this gets in the way. So let me...
What gets in the way?
This.
Wow, that looks complicated. We could
It's a pain.
we could take Starlink down and you could let the slide in.
No, we're not going to do that. If I was smart, oh, that's round on the end. If I was smart, I would just get like my impact wrench and just use that, or impact driver, but all right, let's see if this works.
Ah! Look at that!
I'm going to do the final tightening by hand though, because I don't want to overdo this.
When we had to take the spare off, we had the two chocks were on the spare tire, and then we had the X chock. So we had to take both chocks off and the X chock off, and then we just moved the chocks to the back tire because we are on a hill. We didn't want to roll, even though the other side is